Let's hear more from Max Lawson, who joins me now from London. He's the head of the Inequality Policy over at OXFAM International. Max, a pleasure having you on the show. I mean, honestly, it's not the first time that we're hearing warnings like this from OXFAM. The rich are going to get richer, are getting richer, and more people are sinking deeper into poverty. We played a lot of clips in Kubra's news story from Davos. Obviously, that's going on. Do you really think anything's going to change after Davos?
I think the first thing to understand is how extraordinary this moment is in history. Because yes, billionaires have done well in the past, but we have also seen over the last 20, 30 years a slow but important reduction in the numbers of people living in poverty worldwide. What's happened is COVID-19 and now the food price crisis has turned that around. So we haven't just got an explosion in billionaire wealth. We've got a very sharp increase in extreme poverty worldwide. So what we're saying this week is that over the course of the pandemic, we've had a new billionaire every 30 hours, so just over a new billionaire a day. And at the same time, during that same period, 33 hours, 1 million people being forced into poverty. To give you some idea of that huge gap opening up between the richest and the poorest. So incredible inequality. Do we think that Davos will deliver anything on that? To be frank, I don't. I don't expect the world's richest to come up with the solutions, but we do think this is a moment to draw attention from the world to this scale of inequality.
Max, I mean, whether it's because of the war in Ukraine or sort of a global trend in prices rising, what we have, like you said, is an energy crisis, food poverty, as well as a climate crisis. I mean, this couldn't have been worse. I mean, this is a perfect storm.
It is an absolutely perfect storm. And I mean, it's hard. I mean, our report is called Profiting from Pain, because I think if we look back over the last 2 years of the pandemic, I used to work for Oxfam in many countries in Africa. I'm still in touch with many people across the continent. They've had enormous difficulties in the last 2 years, and they're now facing a doubling of the price of bread, of wheat, a doubling of the price of cooking oil, huge pain being suffered at the bottom, and by ordinary people in the rich world as well. I'm now based in London. We have 3 million people in the UK regularly using food banks. And then at the same time, right at the top, you've got 62 new food billionaires, 10 new energy billionaires, 40 new pharmaceutical billionaires making a fortune from monopolies on COVID vaccines. So it really is a kind of tale for the very top and then a tale for the rest of us. And it couldn't be worse at this point in time, which is why we must see greater taxation of these super rich. The money is there. If we could claw that money back, we could really help.
Well, that's the question. I mean, are they willing to part from their billions? I want to talk to you about the warning from the International Monetary Fund. How real do you think the concerns of social unrest are as a result of, this perfect storm that we were talking about?
I think they're very real. I think if you look in recent history, when we had a big spike in food prices, 2008, 2009, that led to the Arab Spring. You saw massive protests all over the world. People are hungry and people are desperate. And when they are, they take to the streets. And who can blame them, to be honest? I mean, it really is a very, very tough situation for ordinary people worldwide. And as always, it hits women hardest. It hits the poorest hardest, the people that are really struggling already when this wave of price increases is hit. And it doesn't have to be this way. I mean, yes, we have the cause of the war in Ukraine, but there are lots of things that rich countries could do. They could tax the rich. They could use that money to, say, double the budget of the World Food Programme. Just the wealth of the world's food billionaires is enough to end world hunger. So it's easy to throw your hands up and say there's nothing we can do, but there's lots that could be done and a lot of pain that could be prevented. And instead, we're seeing people profiting from that pain instead.
Oxfam International's Max Lawson, thank you very much for joining us here on TRT World. I do appreciate talking to you.